Okay, here we are. Good morning. Good afternoon. What is it? What is it? It's 11:50. All right. So, almost afternoon. Still morning though. We're gonna call it that. So, welcome to Maverick Workshop. Going to be working on a couple gifts today. A little different for a Monday. Usually I'm drilling and everything for the week, but I will get to that here in a little bit. So for now, I'm going to do this, change this. Boop. Let's change it. Let's change something right quick. How was everybody's weekend? It's Monday. It is Monday. Man, I love Mondays. Mondays are fun. Mondays are fun. All right. Well, I was going to change that, but I'm just going to leave it alone. Let's see. Come on now. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Mm. You know what's crazy is when there we go. Okay, there we go. Woo! Volume's good. Content, well, we'll get better here in a minute. So take a look. Here's what we got on the list here, things to do. See, this will make it fun. Now, we got a bottle stopper to make. We got a bottle opener to make. And then we've got a scratcher to make. And some of these are from, well, I guess most of it is from PSI. Cool. So, got some bottle stopper kits. Just do a little quick drop test. That's good. We've got some already pre-drilled. There we go. Got some already pre-drilled. Gonna try some of these out. But this is basically my bottle stopper kit here. So we'll need the mandrel, bottle stopper, bottle opener. Here's the threads. That's a taper tap, I think. Take a closer look here in just a second. There we go. Cool. This is a part of why I like to keep everything close, you know. So this over here, we'll hop over here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh. Okay. You can see what we're doing here. We got this. So these are going to be for the bottle stopper and bottle opener, I believe. What's that, 9/32, 5/16? Okay, that's a good one too. Good size, good size. 5/16 is where we are. So let's go ahead, gather all the stuff. So this is going to be one of the bottle stoppers here. Let's change this. Oh, there we go. There, that's a little better. Perfect. So we got this. This is the bottle stopper blank. And then I have a tester one here that I use. Um, so we got a little tester here. So we're going to take it down quite a bit. And like I said, it's already threaded. So I pre-drilled, I believe, with a 5/16, and then it's got the 3/8 by 16, 3/8 by 16 threads per inch. And then you got to go make sure you go far enough for this here. And the reason I don't particularly care for these, the like starter tap, is because of how super gradual it is. It's just really, really gradual, and it kind of makes it hard for you don't want to have to drill too deep. So it's one of those things where you kind of got to figure out how you want to do it. And for me, I like to do it with the intermediate / bottom tap. Oh, there it is. But it's still the same size. Still the same size. It's the 3/8 by 16. This is from a Harbor Freight tap and die set. So the threads start a little bit higher. Whoop, sorry. The threads start a little bit higher. And this one is also pointed. I don't have to really worry about that for the other one here. And then, let's see, from Turner's Warehouse is this mandrel. Yep. So this is the mandrel that we're going to use. And what's really kind of cool is you can see that the size that these are, like the outer diameter of the bottle stopper itself will be on the matched up with the size, the outer diameter of this ring here. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's going to be simple. This is going to be a pretty simple one. Here, there we go. Take our 4-jaw chuck out. Fresh cut too, by the way. Went and got it this morning. Nice fresh cut. Wanted to look good for y'all. Alrighty, you're going to shift this over just a little bit. Zoom in. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see. So we got some of that, some of this. That will go onto there. So we're going to go for a little shorter version of this. It's going to be a bit shorter, which will be a little easier. So many of these bottle stoppers, man, they're so tall and they just don't want to fit, which is pretty wild. Well, that one didn't really like going in either. Huh. Perfect. So the back end of this is a little wonky, but that's okay. So you could do a quick eyeball estimation of the threads as well. Let's see. There we are. So you can see that the threads actually match up and everything. So it is the appropriate diameter and it's the correct tap and all that. And then this piece just is threaded for the for this particular spindle. Some of them are different. but they're threaded for a M8, or sorry, M1 by 8. Yeah, something like that. Boom. All right. That's set. That's set. Don't even need that. And we're going to be going back and forth quite a bit for this. So we got one already. So we're going to go ahead and turn 2. We want to make sure we get it right. And so we'll go for a couple different attempts. That way you can maximize the desired outcome potential here. So I'm going to put this, just screw this on, and it'll start getting tight actually. And that's partially because I didn't drill all the way with the or I didn't go all the way with the tap, which is not a big deal, but just know that you'll have a little bit of play. And these are already faced. I've approximated how deep I've got to go with the center hole being there. So let's see, how are we doing? Yes. Mavamize. Yes. Got to do that too. So that one and this one. Now the bottle opener and bottle stoppers, pretty sure, share the same threads. So that's pretty cool. And then, hey man, Mike, how you been? You get your printer all set up? Saw that you were live a day, 2 days ago? Something like that. Saw that you were there. That's pretty darn cool. Marvelous. Oh man, that kind of has a northern sound to it. It's marvelous. Rough? Uh-oh. Your live stream or the printer? That's whoop. Oh no. Wow. That's not fun. Sorry to hear that. I hope that is a swift recovery. Okay, so one other thing that we're going to do, just so we can make sure that we're doing what we're trying to do. Last 2 weeks. Sorry to hear that. Okay, so this is about 24 millimeters. And then this, hey, no worries, no worries. Do what you got to do, man. Appreciate you stopping by. 2440. So the outer diameter of this part right here, I'm going to use that as a guide, but it is just a tiny bit larger than this part right here. The outer part there. So not a big deal. But yes, now we're going to trim this and we're going to start shaping it. I don't think we're going to do anything too crazy. Probably just something that ends up looking like a shift knob, I guess. Maybe a combination of something like one of these. But yeah. Something like that. Well, we'll see how it goes. All right, we are all set up, configured. Let me go get Morty turned on here. which is my dust collection. And we'll get right to it. Go. Splendid. Okay, so we're turning pretty slow. Sounds like there's a lot to be desired. I'll get this basically level. Just the bottom. Muffled. Thank you for letting me know. I wonder if it's for the mumbling. Oh. Maybe you gotta switch over to the hat. Might not be straight on your face. There we go. Okay. How about now? Is that any better? Thank you for letting me know. How are we sounding now? Whoa. See what that does. How about now? I did change the other thing. So let me know if that's a better or worse. All right. Sorry about that. Good. It's not one thing, it's another, right? Okay, good. We'll just roll with this. You know, could be something new. I would just stick with something normal and appealing. Okay, so we're thinking like a little stick shift knob here. So that's going to go to the top. So this part at the bottom is going to be flush. Yeah, and then maybe we should pop it out a bit.
A stick chippy. What if we dropped it in a little bit? Deeper taper. Oh, you're gonna start an undercut? Are we making a mushroom now? Maybe. That's kind of fun. This is gonna end up being more like a mushroom. Start getting up into that, you know? What's not to like about a mushroom? Probably. Not funny. Oh, going for the mushroom, huh? Okay. That sounds good. Seems good. All right, so the center recess here. Need to go a little bit further back so I can see. Really nice and slope here, huh? Nice, nice. So now we gotta go up a little bit more. We gotta get up in there. Just a little bit, not just a little bit. Leave that alone. A little mushroom. Oh man, this is going. Let's see, what are we doing? All right, need to round that off a bit more. A little bit of an undercut. It's got a good shape, looking good. All right, well, I guess it's time to take it off of the. Separate the little tip. Boom. See, that is something that people tend to mess up here and there. Sometimes you just gotta be gentle. That way you don't have to worry about the tip too much. But now, let's take a look. Ah! Well, that's pretty cool. Let's see, what do we need to do? What is this missing? It's a little too pointy, I think. Let's make it a little less pointy here. So this could be done with sandpaper, which would probably be a better course of action here. It's a pretty non-standard cut, by the way, because this is going that way, and it could very easily catch and make the tool slam. So that's why the cuts have to be super duper light. There it is. Okay. there is one. I think I need to hit that profile just a little bit more right there. There it is. Dude, that's cool. I don't know if Abby's gonna like it, but it's all right. Right. Now, oh, there it is. Need my wrench so I can grab a hold of it and take the take it out. Okay. All right. So at this point, you can go ahead and address whatever you're going to do with that. And then here we go. This is what it's going to end up being like. What do we think? What do we think? Do we like the mushroom? Stupid? It's going to be beveled there. But I think you can get like a good grip on it. This is going to have to go down just a bit more. Yeah, that's okay. So one of the things that I don't like about this particular bottle opener, I don't know if it's all of them, but this one in particular, you can see how it's got the two different size threads. One's for the actual going into the blank, and the other one's for going into here, into the actual piece of hardware. But I don't really like that it can come out. Maybe that's just me. Yeah. This has got to get a little bit narrower at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and do that with our tools here. And I don't need to screw it all the way in, I don't think. Okay. I'm just going to use our square tool here. There it is. All right, cool. Now we got a nice little undercut there. And it's going to be the appropriate size. Okay. There's one. Whoa. Okay, sorry. You don't even see the top. A little purpley, a little green, a little psychedelic, you know? That is pretty darn cool. Now, let's see, let's do another one where we're not going to do anything like that. Just going to have it be nice and round. Yeah. Okay. Then you got to mark this. You might be able to see that mark. But I'm going to go ahead and darken it so I can see it even better. And this is just the approximate how deep the dead center is going in. So just want to make sure that we don't have that little hole that we got to deal with. I'm going to go ahead and define. Not just kind of need this or that, but. Not too close with how large this tool is. Can't tilt it to get a different angle. At least the way that it was. Let's see, we're gonna go for like a spherical. Yeah. We're gonna go for. But what a great simple. This would be for someone that's going to visit here in the future. Pretty cool. I'm gonna take that way low. Okay. Now I won't have to worry about the top anymore. Let's go ahead. A little closer here. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay. Come back a little closer here. Okay. The nice thing about this little thing here is you can just go ahead and sand it as well. And then, in my opinion, you're going to sand it just a little bit further down. So for this little spot, you're going to be able to sand it a little bit further down because you're trying to get the base of the actual material. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to sand the metal piece here just a bit, which is fine. No problem. So now, well, I could just part it off now. Do we like that? Do we like that? No. Let's take a look here. I don't know if I like that. So, I don't think I like that one either, where it's too tapered in. Maybe I need to shorten it a little bit, huh? How about that? Yeah. Aggressive cuts didn't pay out there. Now, another cool thing about this in particular is if I wanted to, because this is threaded in the material, you could actually move this tail center all the way back and then actually cut inside to make like a little bowl kind of thing. So maybe that'll be something else for later. We'll revisit that other idea. See that little extra piece right there? If I was to break it off, it would probably leave a little hole on the inside or at the very end of this, so that's why you take care of it a little differently, if that is something that is a concern. A little too pointy here. Reduce that pointiness here. there. That's looking pretty good, pretty good. I think I need to tape it just a little bit more. Let's see. Sandpaper will take care of that last bit. Perfect. Yep, I'm gonna have take you off like this. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Sometimes it happens. It's just really on there. Not a big deal. Not a All right, so this is not what that's going to go to. There. So this one's going to look like this. And then the other one is going to look like this. Take that off and see what this one looks like. Should I go deeper undercut there? No. Just need to sand that. Knock the corner off there. That'll be better. All right. Cool. Those are ready. Okay. So we're going to put those to the side. Now, got to figure out the handle for a bottle opener. So, we bought quite a few sets. We keep an eye out for bottle openers and stuff like that. So just keep an eye out. When they go on sale or special or whatever, we just go ahead and buy a few because we do like doing that. We like gifting people things that they'll probably end up using and stuff. So I was thinking about this for it, and it looks like I'm not going to have any issues. Maybe. No, it looks like I'm going to be safe for the most part, which is cool. So in addition to the whole thingy about getting stuff that's on sale, make sure you got one that's a tester. For example, for my bottle opener, I made one and then I got it stuck, the thread, so I had to use a different type of thread or a different screwdriver to get it out. Because I clamped it, I clamped the threads and then had to unscrew it because it was so tight into the blank. And then it chewed up the threads because I grabbed it. I didn't think it would be that bad, but it was. Either way, I kept it, and now it is my tester one. Let's see. This is also a pretty cool little trick here. What I did is I took a piece, and this piece actually corresponds with the outer diameter of a different type of bottle stopper that I was using, like this. So that was my template, basically my diameter. So it's a little different on that one, which is pretty cool. Hey, how you doing, Sean? Good to see you, man. Let's see. I'm gonna go do something right quick. I'll be right back. All right, let me turn off Morty. Leave my hat here. Just a moment. I will be right back.
Trend setup. Hey, yes sir, yes sir. Thank you, Sean, for that. Do me a solid, hit that thumbs up. It mean, well, I don't know exactly what it means to me, but it does make me appreciate it. Yeah, love it. And that way you can also have one of the ones that you're trying out. You can beat it up and not have to worry about, you know, it not working anymore because it's one that you're sampling, right? Let's see. So we're in a bottle opener now. Now, let's see. We're gonna do that for that. There we go. Oh, it's not gonna be large enough. Ooh. All right. Well, I did already prep this stuff. We're just gonna run. Oh man, that's a bummer to hear. You just took an hour to get a bit out of some zircote. Huh. Yeah, no kidding. That is fortunate. It went, it was too small. That way you can open it up just a little bit more if you need to. All right. Let's see. So we're actually going to go for the same profile I've got on a different bottle opener because I like it. I like that profile. Let's see. This is, let's see. All right, so this is what I'm talking about here. This one is the profile that I'm going to end up going for. So I'm pretty sure that I don't really need to worry about using a different mandrel. But like I said before, I could use the bottle, or I could use this, right? I'll show you how. So this goes in, and then let's say it bottoms out right there. Now this just goes towards it, and now I put this in a chuck, and then now I have, you know, kind of a mandrel that I can use. Not ideal for long term, but it does work. And because I don't do it very much, okay, there we go. Boom, boom. See, this one's a little wonky, which is weird. You like the draft handle? Yeah. Well, it's just more, I don't know, comfy. More comfy. So this will be the profile that I'm going to go for. But I guess I will be using the other one because the mandrel for this one in particular is going to be too large. In which case I could do a different little spacer right here. So I could take a piece that's kind of like this and then cut it, and then it would be even shorter. So it would just be covering the back end. But I'm just going to go ahead and do what I've talked about already. Boom. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it does work. And this is good for the specific other ones that was happening. Let's see. So for this to work, I need to find the appropriate collet.
Whoop. That's still too large. And if you don't have a collet, that's also not a problem. What you could do instead is, that's what I'm gonna have to do anyways. I don't have the appropriate collet. Not that big of a deal though. I'm gonna go ahead and use a chuck. This is your this is where I insert that. The methods I use are not necessarily the safest, but but it's going to look like this. This will go into the piece as far as I need it to, and then I'm going to use the front as best I can to hold the piece. So, brother man, I'm not saying it's the way. I'm just saying it's a way. And considering I'm not setting up for like a mass production or anything like that, I'm not super concerned about that. So, pop this over there. This action. So we got to drill first. Okay, here we are. So I've got one of my 5/16 bits already set up. Now this one is another one that's set up. Now it is a little on the longer side, so I am gonna reference it and then do a little shorter, but you got to make sure that you do have enough to go all the way. So you just kind of eyeball it. You just kind of eyeball it like this initially, but you have to factor in the tapered part here because it doesn't taper on this end. So you're gonna have to go a little further, about there. Yep. And then if you wanted to or needed to, you can have a reamer that goes along with it. Okay. Now, as for the blank that we're going to use for this, use that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Well, let's see. Which one are we going to do here? Is that going to be too long? Nah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. All right. Need to open this bad boy up a bit more. Perfect. Well, we need this to go into there, but it's not going to right now. So I gotta hop over here. I'm gonna open up my, I'm gonna do my metal lathe thing right here. So we're gonna get it flat, and then I'm gonna put the live center in, and then I'm just gonna run it just a little bit to make it so I can fit the front end into it. Not a lot here, not a lot, just a little bit. All right, so sorry about that. I don't have a camera set up over here. Well, I do, but I'm not going to move it right this second. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty. The way that my metal lathe is set up right now too is I was trying something else. I know you can't see it, but if you did see it, you'd be like, it's wrong. And I would agree with you. Because it is. I've got the tool in there a little wrong. But that's a part of why I'm not showing either. All right, there we go. So all I had to do was take this, make it so I can actually get this in here. And then now, because it's the way that it is, this will be a nice. So we have a pretty good solid starting point. So we can take a look, we'll spin it and see what the runout is. Pretty much nothing, which is pretty sweet. Okay, let's see. We're going to. We've already got a center start. Let's see. Is it going to be? Alrighty. I'm not going to spin it at full throttle, that's for sure. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and lock the tailstock here. And then... you can't really see. Yeah, you can see on the other cam. There. So we got this, and we're going to go in. Remember, we don't need to go all the way, just far enough. And this is a 3-flute drill bit, so it's pretty neat in that case. But yeah, so we got this measured for the bit itself. So this bit itself is flat. So there's that mark. But because we have to go a little further, we have to factor in like another little bit here, which is about here, to factor in the other part of the threads. So that's where we're going to go. Hopefully, yeah, cool. Hopefully we didn't get to the resin part. We just stayed in the wood. Looks like it. I don't see any resin there. If you're wondering, this is red mallee burl. It is cut from a much larger piece that we did make it into a blank like this. And then, so hopefully this doesn't break off. Normally I would power feed, or I would let the lathe run, but I'm gonna do a little different here. Sometimes if you're threading wood, it likes to not cooperate, and sometimes it'll split. So in this particular case, pretty fortunate that it is well, that I cut a recess already, and then I've got as much material as I do here, and I pretty much need to go all the way in. So I'm just supporting this, and the tailstock is unlocked, so that's a pretty important thing. The tailstock is unlocked, so I could essentially just rotate this and it'll just pull the tailstock closer and closer. But we're clearing some of the wood chips out as it's cutting. The other thing is this is a single start, so every place that you start, you will also you'll always start at that point. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna clear out this stuff. Like that is a pretty cool trick. If you're trying to get two different pieces to line up and you're using multi-start threads, that could be one of your problems that you're having. There is absolutely a way to do it, but if it is multi-start, it'll only line up in one of the positions. So it's, I guess, something to keep in mind when you're working on something like that. I'll show you in reverse what I'm talking about if I had some more torque here. Come on. All right, well, it doesn't have the torque right now. It's on the top speed. Okay, we're getting there. I think one more time and then we'll be where we need to be. So Sean, what are you working on today, man? And just keep an eye, make sure that you're going where you want to, not past where you want to or anything. So I feel a lot of resistance right now, which tells me that I'm getting to the bottom. Okay. So for this, we are actually going to do a little bit of this. There. Well, once we get this finished, let's check and see how we're looking here. Oh, come on now. See, that's why it's so weird, and that's why I had a reamer here, I guess. Because you don't need it to be like super tight, but wood, for example, seems to like, some of it rebounds, I would say, and some of it also doesn't rebound. Oh, we're going reverse. Let's go forward here. There we go. You're just going to send the reamer through. All right, this should be better for threading here. Let's see, pin kits, like usual, sold a few on Sunday. Nice, nice. Good deal, man. Well, we're going in a little easier now. Here we go. This will do. Looks like I have not gone far enough quite yet, but we got to check it on a different piece just to make sure. Like I might have knocked it out of round two, but that's okay. Just pop this out. Boom. Sweet. Now we're back. Alrighty. Did I drop it? There it is. There we go. All right, once we get all the way down here. Single start, man. Okay, cool. So we are right where we need to be. Now I'm going to have to check it again, I think, because I've got to see how it fits once I face this off a little bit. And we're going to use a live center to support it so I can do the majority of the cut on the face. And I probably could just do it freely like this, but you know, good practice, you know. Sometimes there we go. So this will help hold it straight and flat. Just going to use a little square carbide too. Get her going good here. Just trying to make the whole surface here flat. I didn't get very far with that, did I? Here we go. Now I know I'll have just a tiny little bit that I'll have to deal with, which is okay. At this point, you can also even taper it inward if you want, just a tad. And that would be potentially something for a way to make it so it is a little better, sits a little better and everything. But remember, we didn't want to take too much because we already drilled and all that jazz. So now we're just flat. Okay. Now we're pretty much good here. Just got to clear that out. We don't need to turn very much more here on the chuck, at least. So we're just going to pop this over, back this up, turn the lathe way down. Like, I think my lathe will go less than 40 maybe. So we're just going to make sure that everything's clear. All right. All right, cool. See, that looks very nice. Also, at this point, what we could do, just so we are aware, is you do a little circle here. I bumped it in the back end because it's a little loose. Let's see. You got to get your pin stock up because you're going to Washington State for a month. Cool. And then Montana. Oh, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. So here we are. So you can see that right here. The reason I bother doing that line is because inside of it is the actual diameter that we're going for, because we want it to relatively match up with the outer part of this base collar here. And then the other thing that I was going to show is this part. If I can ever get this all the way out. There we go. This is, you know, kind of the template that's a slightly smaller. It's slightly smaller than the little circle. So that's my visual reference. And let's see. Okay. Okay. Alrighty.
There we go. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Jacob's chuck on the headstock here. Yes. Now, you'll have people that'll tell you that you need to make sure that you secure the Jacob's chuck into the headstock, which I absolutely agree. So the other thing is you wouldn't necessarily want to spin this very fast, especially if there's no external support. In this case, I'm going to have this going in the inside, so it's not going to come out, right? It's going to be pinned. It's going to be centered like that. So I'm going to back this up. We can get as much thread contact as we can. There we go. All right. And then, like I mentioned, this is basically acting, it's going back down and it's acting as a stop. So it won't go past that. And then I'm going to bury it to about to there on the Jacob's chuck. So I guess let's show you the configuration that I'm in right now. So you can see here that the tap has a little block that I use to stop it and also give me a template of the diameter that I'm going for. And then this is going to end up being the handle. So it's going to be kind of like this. And the orientation is going to be like this. So this already has a center on the back end as well. So we're not worried about it coming out of the lathe. But yes, you are in charge of your own safety. If it doesn't look safe to you, you shouldn't do it yourself. There, I think I've said what I need to. All right, cool. Look at that. All right, so from here, we're just going to start shaping, right? We don't really need to do anything wazoo. Just need to start getting it turned into the handle shape. And I think 4.5 to 5 inches is about where we want to be. This is just, I guess, my preference. This one is 4. This one's just under 4. So 4.5 to 5, I would say. So this is actually at the 4.5 right here, which is pretty cool. We're actually just going to run with that. I love it when something comes together like that, right? Okay, how are we looking? How are we looking? Good, good, good. Let's see. Let me find my respirator right quick. Anytime I'm messing with wood, I definitely like to have a respirator on. Now, I guess the same should be said anytime you're messing with resin, too. But, you know, definitely want to make sure that you are protecting your non-replaceables. Unless they've made some wazoo advances in science and whatnot. Alrighty. All right, here we go. All right, we covered up. Boom. Okay. We're looking good. This is going to be good. Taper that. Just a little bit there. So about here is going to be a high point. About here is going to be a high point. Then I think here is going to be a high point.
Yep. So these lines are high points. It's going to taper into that, then it's going to sink down. It's going to flare back out, and it'll be a constant taper until we get to this line, and it'll be a taper downward. Let's get to it. Gonna need to pick up the pace there, lathe. Let's see. All right, we're gonna skew a little bit today. All right, let's see. So we got here, we're gonna go that way, we go this way here. All right. I think I need to raise the tool rest a little bit here. We're gonna bring the tool rest up. Let's see. There you go. Feel it and ride it. All right. I'm getting that kickback, man. Not cool. I'm gonna have to revisit my skewing with bigger objects like this. Does not want to do what I wanted it to do. Okay. We'll do a last little bit of fine tuning of this particular spot later. Oh, crap. Don't get all up in the way, John. Hi there. Uh-oh. Whoa. Yes. Okay. So far, looks good. And then down. Much more exciting with the skew? Yeah, man, it is. I'm gonna have to dedicate like an entire stream or something to that. It does not want to work right for me sometimes. But I will say, I was wondering if there was a skew that was like a skew that was like, you know, a little bit more like the carbide. Let's see, did I put anything with that there? I don't know if I did, but I was talking about the skew, right? And then I tried to make another tool that was skew alike, right? So it's this guy. So it's kind of like almost like a scraper. And then I realized that they actually make those things, so I went and got one. This is a crown tool made in England, but yeah, I didn't know it was a thing. So I grinded it, thinking that I could use it like a carbide, but I haven't really spent a lot of time with it. All right, let's turn this off and see how it feels. Yeah, Spindle Master. That's what it was. Okay. This'll work, huh? Pretty good. Let's do a little bit more with the shape. But I haven't played with it long enough. Yeah, I kind of like the little bulbous at the end here. Yeah. Oh yeah, bulbous. And how you doing, Ben? Good seeing you, man. Shear cut? Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe. Alrighty, that's looking, feeling. Boom, boom. You can hold it a variety of different ways here. Yeah, love it. We just got to reevaluate the girth. Here, let me get Abby. I knocked. If y'all could, do me a solid. Hit that thumbs up. Yes, sir. Hey, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm yes, sir. I knocked. Here she comes. Hey. Hey, hit Morty.
How girthy. That's the bottle opener.
Yeah. It's a weird shape.
It's a great shape. We're just looking at girth. Unless you want to shape it.
Maybe
That'd be fun.
No. Maybe a little thinner, but pretty close. I wouldn't do too much more.
I like it.
Like a big heavy one.
Big heavy one.
Well, yeah. Like ours is pretty big. The one that's inside.
It's right there.
Oh, it's right here.
I brought it.
Nice.
Yeah. Just wanted to change gears a little bit, do a little different.
No, it's nice. Then leave it like that.
Yeah.
Sweet. Did you do anything else? Here's that one.
What do you mean?
I mean, did you do the...
Yeah, I did the stoppers. Look over there. In that bucket.
What, this bucket?
Yeah, the bucket.
Like underneath?
You got a lot of skews, but tend to reach for the cheater tool. Yeah. It's so fun.
Where is it? Did you make a mushroom one?
Yeah, I did make a mushroom. Yeah, it looks cool though.
Actually,
Here, get the bottles. It's right there, somewhere. It's over there. A bottle opener.
this?
No. Or stopper. A stopper
You
piece.
did say opener.
Yeah, I meant a stopper. Here, just take this one. Open that. You can hop over there. Go that way. So fun. You knock on the wall and she comes out to turn off the extractor. Yeah. I can reach it.
Look, this one's got weird, like,
Don't worry about that.
drew all over it.
I did draw on it. My Kim's right there.
Yeah,
So there's that one.
that was good.
Yep, take it off.
And
And I did write on that one.
it came off. It came off.
I know. That's why I have a tester. It's because it likes to come off like that. Here you go.
That one's funny.
It's cool.
Eat a mushroom. It's so tall. We did find, as we've gifted these to people, that they're more for like bottles that you're leaving out, putting in your fridge, just because they're so tall. And I mean, like, this part's already tall, so it depends on how.
You like your blanks.
Thank you. Mushroom.
I did a little undercut on it too.
Perfect. It'll be a birthday present for my sister. Who loves mushrooms? There we go. Those are cool.
Yeah. There's the mandrel for you.
I am busy right now.
I didn't say right now. I just said for you.
This thing?
Yep.
Cool, man.
Here, you can grab that box. I'll put all this stuff in here for you.
And where'd the other one go?
It doesn't matter. We'll just pick a nice, clean, new one.
No, I'm looking for
One.
I just was holding one. That's not it.
No, that's not it.
Gone.
Where'd you put it?
I don't know. I just set it down in here.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I did not set it down.
Okay.
Why? These blanks are old blanks.
Some of the first squares that you made.
This is
Not
from
turned.
a block. These ones from absolutely forever ago. I don't make blocks very often. Jones got some that aren't square anymore, but yeah.
Yeah.
Turned out pretty darn cool.
That's what that one started off as.
And then this one also very long time ago. I rarely do hybrids.
Yeah.
Have you seen the flat one? I've seen the steel bottle stoppers. I have not, but I'll be honest.
Yes,
He has.
I have.
Apparently. We don't turn a lot of other projects like this very often unless it's for gifts or, we get the Penn State catalogs all the time, like constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So every once in a while we'll sit down and look through those.
So we got bottle stoppers, bottle openers, and then we got one more thing that I'm going to do today. Well, I guess kit-wise that I'll be doing today. And this is a ticket scratcher.
Which was requested.
And it appears to have the same kit configuration as the seam ripper or the, what's the other thing called?
The crochet handle?
Crochet handle. I'm going to use this on one of them. It's going to be pretty neat.
Pretty.
We use some, what's that called?
I just feel like your mom said I didn't. Was it the Thoya?
Toya, that's what it is.
It's really pretty. Lots of eyes.
Yeah, I was going to do that, and then I thought about using a dragon scale.
Okay. I'm not attached to that pink color, so go for it.
Okay, they're going to be for scratchers.
Lucky scratchers.
So that one, this one, and then this one are going to be for scratchers. Hopefully this
What's
one will.
that?
This is, I harvested this burl from my mom's house.
Oh, is that what it's from?
Yeah. So hopefully I can use this burl here. I actually used it in a piece before. This is this is
See the dust.
this is what it looks like on the inside. It's pretty neat. It's kind of warped since, but
He climbed up a tree in the dark with a chainsaw to cut this burl down.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of the burls down.
Yeah, as many as you could find.
Yeah. It was the last day at the house, man. I had to make them all count.
It was the property that he grew up on that his mom was selling. So we were there helping pack up and say goodbye to it. And I was like, well, I need to get those burls, and climbed up a tree in the middle of the night to get them.
Yeah, you know, Ben, you're right about that. Those things can stay upright, and so they show off a little better.
The scratchers?
The
Oh, the
bottle stoppers, yeah. So it's pretty convenient that they will stand up like that.
Yeah, gotcha. He didn't get hurt. I was his spotter. So
What? What were you going to do if I fell?
call 911.
That's not really what, well, it's not helpful, we'll
You
say.
handed me burls and things. I held things. I helped. It's helping.
Should probably drip some thin in
I
there.
will.
Okay.
Don't worry.
How do you want me to give this to you? Like this?
No, because I can't have the butt, because I need to be able to finish the butt.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to do it slow so that it's not too wobbly. And
Oh, it
stuff.
shouldn't be wobbly at all.
Oh, well, then it'll be fine. But yeah.
But I got to leave it in this.
So that's fine. It's so that I can finish the bottom part.
The dogs are trying to
I
break through the
know.
house.
I can finish packing anyways.
All right.
Cool beans. Looks good.
Hey, man.
Give me
I'm just going to slim this down a bit more, and then...
I think it's pretty close. I think it looks really
So we're going to have a stratified, a Juma, and a wood
good for the scratchers.
for a scratcher. Oh, I guess I don't even need the Thoya, huh? Or I could
Yeah,
do the
let's see.
Thoya instead of the Juma.
I don't know. The dream's kind of cool. What are we gonna do with those? Are we gonna
I don't know.
sell
I'm
one?
going to make them. And then you're going to figure out what to do with them.
All right, cool.
Right?
I'm gonna go let the dogs in before they claw their way through
Good.
our back door, and I'll
Thanks.
Morty just go.
That would be fantastic. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. All right, we're back. We're back. So we just have a little bit more to do here. So we're going to use the geometry of this to our advantage. Wow, we were high. Yeah, we're still... Come on now. Here we go. Okay. Alrighty. Sweet. That. Yellow that. Bring it up a bit more here. Yeah. All right.
Boom. You like the butt being bigger? I don't know about that. It's a little smaller here. Oh man, there it is. That's a ticket right there. All right. So that's pretty fine. We're gonna go ahead and run this paper a bit. I'm gonna find a point where so I could put a little Maverick finial in it. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that. Alrighty. And a little non-standard use with this. Again. So maybe people can see. And drop the speed a little bit here. Getting some wonky run out. Not perfect. That's okay. Now, if I really wanted to, I could fix this. I'm not going to, because I like it the way it is. It's a little wonky, but you know, got to factor in the face of this. I also got to factor in that we're in that. So, not super concerned. It'll be pretty simple to sand. Yeah. Final shaping will be sanding. All right. Now we're gonna cut this out. I'm just gonna leave it like this. That way it can be sanded. So leave that. Okay. There we go. Now, we've got this little Juma. All right, so this is the kit that we're working with. Okay, so this is what we've got now. So these are going to be little ticket scratchers. These are ticket scratcher kits. And they are very similar to what looks like the seam ripper kit, as well as the like a crochet kit, stuff like that. This spring steel collar is what reminds me of it. So that's going to go inside this brass tube. And then this piece will be grabbed by that particular spring steel, and it'll kind of hold it in place with just a little bit of pressure. So yes, we got gold, we got gunmetal and chrome. So let's see. I'm going to be making 3.
hopefully no problems, no whammies. Just gonna get this measure. I am uncertain about that, but we'll try it anyways. So cut there. And this is just how you get, or how I get, rather, my markings so I can know where to drill. And then, let's see, this one here should be good. And then on this particular kit, it just looks like there's a little rounded finial at the end there. So, and it's got a clip. The clip will go into that, which will go into the brass. So, and then the other piece is kind of free floating. This will go in, and then it will be able to come out. So that's kind of neat. That's maybe worth looking into as a different kind of design. Yeah. All right, gonna hop over here. I'm gonna chop these right quick. Here. And then it'll go to that. So apologies, I will be off screen. However, you'll hear the sound. So this little Win bandsaw has really been put through a test. Little guy. It does a good job. I'd say that a bandsaw is pretty much your best friend if you're getting into turning. As far as like your cutting, your way of cutting, probably best to be a bandsaw. The table saw would work though. Shoot, I suppose a handsaw would work. But we're going for ideal or are we going for optimal? Or all right, that was redundant. My bad. Okay, chopped them. Now they're all about the size that we need them to be. Just gonna throw the jaws back in there. All right, toothbrush, making everybody leave. Alrighty, so what is the diameter? I think it's a 7. The brass tube here, I think it's a 7 mil. 812. Okay, so I need an 8 mil drill bit, but a 7 mil mandrel. Bum, bum. All right, got different bushings on this already, so that's cool. That's cool, something for me to look for later on. And this does also have bushings. When I buy kits, I like to go ahead and get the ones with the bushings. And you can see that this is a seam ripper kit. Well, maybe not, but it's a seam ripper kit. Bushings. So I need to take a look at the hardware that is in each kit and measure it to make sure that I have the correct sizes. Boom, boom, boom. The amount of bags is wild. So many bags. All right, so this, I'm gonna measure it, and we're at about 960. We're gonna hold it, gonna lock that. Throw that on the floor, good. Then there. So I think that 2 of these bushings are the same. Jeez Louise. All right, these appear the same. Yeah, these are going to be the same. So I guess you just get an extra one. All right. I think this is the end, which is right where we want it to be. So the smaller one will be where the finial is, and then the other side will be where the opening goes. So this little piece right here, little top piece, is the same size as this one here. So there. So left to right, I like left to right. So we'll put that and that, and then these little things. So this is now set up. But yeah, it's the same kit as the seam ripper, and that one's pretty popular right now, I would say. The seam ripper, yeah. Where in the world did that go? Live center. All right, found it. Live center with all the bushings that we're going to need. That, this. The instructions are also in there, which is pretty cool. I suppose I'll take a gander. It'll tell me I need a 7mm most likely drill bit. Let's take a gander. Drill bit. Oh, yeah, but 8. My bad. 7 mil for the mandrel, and then 8 mil for the drilling. Yep. So this one might actually not work because of how not square it is, but we're going to try anyways. It's just very wonky shaped. Let's see. If we're looking at like a straight line, got to find where that actually would be. And this side over here looks flatter. So that might be the best direction to go. So that's about straight. That's about straight. Okay. Well, we'll see if this works out. Oh, this is my big Jacob's chuck. It goes to it goes to 16 mil. Let's see, 8mm drill bit. Where are you? One of these days I will get to organizing. Aha! I'll get to organizing this stuff. See, the 8mm drill bit, what else do I use that one in? I use it in the EDC DuraClick, I think. There we are. There we are. So this is the 8mm drill bit. And then we're just going to check it on our tube here. So it's a, pretty darn flush with a tube. And that's just a wild, not a wild guess, right? It's just an eyeballing gauge, I guess. So, like a normal man. I think that was talking about when I was climbing up in a tree and getting some stuff, some of the burls. All right, so we're good lengthwise. All right, key. Okay, so this should work well. I don't need this like super duper tight. Click 2mm, pencil 8mm. This is, what is this? This is a scratcher, scraper ticket scratcher. Pow! There we go. That's what we're working on. Alrighty. Back this up. Whoop, too much. Okay, well, this one might be the one that just doesn't want to work. That's okay though. Drop that speed a little bit. A little bit more and we will be good to go. Lock it in. Ride it the rest of the way through. Come on, baby. Get through. There it is. All right, back her off. Sweet. Let's take a look. Haha. Hey. Look at that. See? Wonky as it was, still made it happen. And then we want to also check, make sure that this will just kind of fit in there nicely, which it does. And I have quite a bit extra on this side, which is good because I was actually worried about this knot right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little knot right there. But fortunately, I'm going to be able to cut it off. All right, cool. Okay, get out. I haven't really done much with this kit before. However, I do think that you could probably modify it if you wanted to. But we're going to go with using it first and then modding it later if we really, really want to. This is Thoya burl. And I'm not sure what kind of burl this is actually, but it is really nice and curly and swirly. It almost looks like it has a fingerprint, so it's pretty darn cool. I'll back this up. Find the ballpark center here. There we go. Looking at the jaws as well as where it's lining up with the drill bit here. That's pretty good.
some drilling. Because the Thoyo burrow was stabilized, it does have a different smell to it too. Which, it's not bad, just... Come on. Come on. Dang it. All right, almost there. Boom. We gotta be through now. And I can see it at the back end. Sweet. All right, that's looking good. And again, you want to take a look and then make sure that it fits. And the weird thing is, some of them will fit tighter, and because it's partially because the wood's rebounding, you know. So the wood, some of the wood like opens, some of it closes. So different profiles for different woods, and it's just weird. So turning a variety of wood could take a little while to actually get acquainted with the different species, if that's what your target is. But if you're working with the same one repeatedly, then obviously you can get a better idea of the whole thing, or how it turns and the profiles and the different ways that it behaves and all that. And this, lastly, we have Juma, which is a really cool. I'm going to be taking a lot of material off actually for this one, but it'll be cool. It's pretty hard to so I'm pushing the back of the tailstock here. And I do it a little bit, but once I start getting close to the final depth, I'll stop doing that, because I don't want it to fly out the other end. I want to be able to relatively control it, but we are getting near that point. Here we go. Boom. Almost there. Come on now, go out the end. Oh, just a little bit more. All right, didn't go all the way, I don't think. You can look at the through hole, and it's not. You can look through the back end of the lathe and see if it was all the way through, and it was not. There we go. Woo! Oh yeah. All right. Looking good, looking good. So you can kind of see a little bit right there where it just a little bit chipped. Not a problem though, not a problem, because I left a little bit of material on both ends. Let's see. So I don't need that anymore. Take this off, put my 8mm drill bit away where it goes, because I won't need it for a long time again. So put it in a place where you'll find it. Alrighty. And then I want to make sure I test. Whoop! You see how it just kind of almost falls right through the Juma here. Plastic expands a little bit. Wood will open up, but then it'll kind of rebound to where it'll collapse back down a little bit on itself. Now, stabilized wood, on the other hand, is even different than this. So wood that's not stabilized, it can have that rebounding effect. But stabilized wood will typically, you'll drill a hole and it'll stay that size hole. Kind of like plastic, except plastic will even heat up. So I guess 3 different profiles for different materials, that is kind of cool. And you'd learn that by trying them out. But I didn't change the drill bit or anything. It's just a matter of knowing, I would say, is part of it. And then minimizing heat as best as possible, because that'll make it so you're not really affecting those properties as much. Let's see. There's my air compressor. Just kidding. Okay, so next thing I've got to do is swap this out. Well, actually, for the sake of, you know, moving intelligently, I'll say, economy of motion or efficiency, something along those lines. I'll back this up, put this over here. I use cardboard all the time for gluing, and I'll also do a nice big piece of cardboard under it. That way I make sure I don't get it on my lathe, but I will say also not that big of a deal if you did. You just scrape it off. But yes, here we go. We got this. Always want a paper towel for CAing or gluing or whatever you're going to do. For me, I'm going to use medium, and I will have my paper towel. Let's turn this over here a little bit. There you go. That's a little better, huh? So I got my paper towel. I've got my materials. I just need to pay attention to what side I want to push them into. And I'm going to pick the flattest one I can, or the one that doesn't have the chip out, or the one that has the least amount of chip out. For this one, on the other hand, I'm going to go away from the knot, so I'm going to keep it on this side. So all of them are going to be that configuration. I still haven't gotten to the point where I need to be worried about what pieces are going to go where. I got 3 different colors. I've got the chrome, gunmetal, and then I've also got the gold. But all the same kit, same style of kit, so none of them should have any problems. Should, right? You may also notice on this particular set of brass tubes that they're pre-scuffed. You can kind of see that they already have like the scrapes on it, and that's pretty convenient because it's what helps the blank get held on the inside with glue. Okay, let's see. I haven't used CA in a long time. And then when I do, Abby's usually the one that uses it, but we use Mercury Flex. We like the Flex, you know? Little mercury adhesive, get it with the Flex. Hit it with the Flex. Okay, I'm done. But anywho, so, again, take a look. That's kind of where it came out. This is where I'm going to end up going. And then I'm just going to use my fingernail and push it. That way it's a little bit recessed. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. And once I do that, I'll just wipe my finger off with the paper towel. Perfect. But because this one is a little snug, I got to use that to push it, which is no problem. So that one, so the sides that's facing me is the direction we're going to go with it. Alrighty. And then this one, yeah. All right. Again, the side that's facing me is going to be the side that we're going in from. So if you can have them configured the way that you like them and repeatable, I'd say go ahead. It's worth a little bit of preparation to do that. And then I am going to put my trash can at my feet. There we go. All right. Now the moment of truth. Make it all happen. A little medium. Spread it around. And then I keep it twisting here. You just kind of work it in. And then make sure you get it in before it sets. I've got some other kits that it didn't work out with. And then I wipe the end. And boom. Easy day. So I just give it a little wipe off. And then I hit it with a little spritzer. Try to make sure you don't spritz your finger, because moving forward, you'll have a little activator on your fingers, and then if the CA does touch it, well, I think you can figure out what would happen, huh? Okay. I'm thinking for this one, we're going to make it a chonker, but, oh well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, nice. Get it nice and covered in glue here. Work it in. Work it in. Trying to make sure it doesn't drip on you. And that's why I have a paper towel, so I can immediately wipe my fingers off. And then when you do that as well, make sure that you pay attention to it being on like a level surface, because if there is a little bit of play inside the hole, the tube can use like the liquid from the glue and then just kind of slide down, and that's obviously not what you want, right? Let's see. Then we got one more here. All right. Sorry, this one, I did it over the trash can. I gotta really get it in there fast, actually. There. Sometimes if they have a little bit more resistance, I'll get them in there even faster. And then you clean your glue. And then put it away. We're done with the glue. Hopefully for now. All right. Now I did get some on my finger. So it feels like I have a little bit of a... sorry, there we go. I've got some on my finger here, so kind of pulled my fingerprint off a little bit. So I guess that's a way you can duplicate your fingerprints, getting a nice shell of CA glue and then peeling that off, then you're good to go. I'm just kidding, don't do that. That'd be a bad day. Not a good idea. Bad idea. But what I do if I really want it off my finger is I'll just sand my finger a little bit. Or just normal wear, it'll just go away over time. Let's see. So, hit it with a little activator. Okay. Good to go. It'll blister to the bone. Oh, man. No, it won't be that bad. I've used it for covering up cuts before. Again, I don't really suggest it unless you know what you're doing. But, you know, I was a paramedic before, and I've closed an injury. Actually, it was on this finger. It was like right there. There's a little cut when I was demolding the blanks, and then I put super glue on it, and then, you know, it just took care of it. It just, you know, it took care of it. Alrighty. So, alrighty. Okay. Whatevs. So this is the first one that we did. Good old barrel trimmer. Here we go. Got to see which one we've got in there. Got to swap it probably. That's the one. All right, so I have the regular high-speed steel barrel trimmer. If you don't like the carbide barrel trimmer, this high-speed steel is another option. There's also the sanding, the offset sanding method that you could do and stuff like that. Oh yeah, have I seen? Yeah, you smoke when you hit a blob. Yeah, heck yeah. It will absolutely do that to you. But I guess it was more of a surprise the first go. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But then it's like, not that big a deal as I figure out what happened. Alrighty. So, literally cooked you? Oh man, that's a bummer. Okay, so for this, what I like to do is I like to have a cloth of some sort that will allow me to hold the blank and then make it so it won't turn in my hand. So this is the part that we're going to start with. I'm going to get that nice and set. So I'm going to wrap this. You could use a rag, like a, well, I use a soft fiber, microfiber cloth, but, and then you just go down, make sure that you know how far it's going to go. So the brass tube is longer than this, so I'm not going to drill into my hand if I have my hand on the back. Good practice to not have your hand on the back of it, but, you know, to each their own. And this one works pretty nicely. I'll show you that is. I'm gonna go out on a limb for this particular kit and say that I don't think it matters that much about the brass tube being interfered with because of how it is. I don't think it matters that much. Just as long as you don't cut an inch off of it, type of thing. But let's, I guess I'll hold that because I'm not entirely sure. This has got a little ways to go, so I could have cut it first, but I didn't. So we're just gonna go this way. Put it on a nice flat surface and then just go for it. And that's why I keep it protected, because man, that would have gouged my hand real good. Sweet. made it. See, I had to go a little ways on that one. Another thing that I actually do sometimes is if the blank is round, I'll just put it up into my metal lathe and then trim it back. It's a pretty nice way to do that, but because I'm trying to make it look like I'm working much harder than I am. That's what we got. This just needs a nice little gentle touch. So we'll just go right on. Just needs to be leveled out a little bit more. Despite the best efforts of going straight, I'm still going to push more on one side than the other, but you can see one side is a little shinier, so you just rotate the blank around and think about how you're pushing. You just adjust. Okay, so that side's done. Whoop. Now this side, I'm going to take it to the bandsaw right quick because I don't want that spot to chip out. Yeah. So we're going to hit that right quick. Gotta be careful. Alrighty, we can do another little sliver here. A lot of times when you're doing really small or thin cuts, you don't really think about the width of the blade, unless you're a pin maker, or you work with stuff that's very small, in which you got to factor in the size of like blades and stuff. All right. If you're wondering what I'm using, this black thing is what is like for an organizational shelf kind of thing. It comes in big rolls. Okay, so now you can see, maybe, I guess not, but I cut it back and now I won't have to drill as far. Make sure your hand is protected because it might grab all of a sudden and you won't know that's going to happen. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, rotate one more time. Perfect. Whew. Okay, we're good to go. To the next one. Let's see. That shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to go ahead and chop this one a little bit too. There we go. Okay, now you can see it a little better. Nice. And again, always protect your hand. Don't think that you're just going to grip it strong enough, because it'll catch you off guard and it'll tear the web of your hand. Ask me how I know. Trying to be man hands and hurting myself. Almost. The other one's going to take a little more horsepower. Or the other side. Anyway, everybody hates barrel trimmers, but I probably don't use them enough to have too strong of an opinion, I would say. I mean, probably a few hundred times, I would say. Oh! I'll show you what I did before, too, to sharpen it. Sorry. Blocking. If you wanted to see, just drilling, but I got to get some power over directly over top of it best I can. There we go. And then when I see it nice and nice like that, I know that I'm close, but if I see the little bit of brass and then I see a lip, I will go back and trim it a little bit more. Yes. There we go. Boom. Ooh, that cutter got hot. So the other thing I used this stuff for was my clamps. So I have a clamp that holds a camera, and I wanted to girth up the thing that it was holding on to. So I used that. The stuff. Oh, here's the clamp. So I wanted to make it a little bit thicker to grab so it would reduce its rotation. And it did. So, there. Alrighty. Dead center, live center. Pieces. Okay. Okay. So hopefully none of these are be duds. So it doesn't really matter the orientation. It's the same tube size. However, you should note that the end is going to be on, I'm actually going to flip it. So the end is going to be on the right side. And then the way that you're going to hold the handle is going to be on the left side for the configuration that I like to see it and turn it. So that is going to be the side where you're holding. And this is going to be the side that has like the clip on it. Let's see, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Okay. So here's the image. And this spot down here is gonna be here, right? So it's the larger of the one, and then this is the smaller where the clip as well as the rounded finial is. So that's what we're gonna go with. And let's see. I'm kind of thinking that I should start with this one because it might not work out at all. But for the sake of maximizing, I'm going to put this right on. And this, I'm going to go there. Boom. So the cool thing about the mandrel saver is that it just goes right through. It's got a little through hole, that this pushes on the bushings. So I like that. So maybe we'll revisit the skew or my little whatever thing here. What they call it, a spindle master? Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Let's go ahead and have a little swig of power here. There we go. This is what we're working on. I'm not sure what this burl is, but I am in North Carolina, and it was harvested in North Carolina. Larger trees. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of tree it was. But it's going to be cool. All right. Now back to the PPE here. Okay. All right, dust collection is good and on. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Good. See, it's low because when I use carbide, the carbide's a little bit away. So, do a little of that. Tighten that up. Get going. All right, skew. Let's see what we can do with you. So nice and flat. Let's see. There we go. The concepts are the same. But sometimes okay. You know what? Skew it. All right, and this is like my weird modified thing that we'll just see what happens. Look at that. So much better than a skew. So the logic behind this was to try and make this little shank here rounded so I could go back and forth. And then this, I was trying to make, like, replicate, you know, the shape, right? So that's kind of what I was going for here. It works pretty good, I'd say. Oh, but it's a scraper. Huh? Looks like I'm getting some shaving. Right? Getting some shaving. So we come up here, get that. See that? Again, from here. Uh-huh. Look at that. Ooh. Nice finishing cut right there, too. How about that? Alright, I could move the tool rest a little closer. Oh, that's just so nice. Alright, we're not getting fancy. There's a spot right here. Really need to flatten out a little bit. Okay. So what we're gonna do is, because this is gonna be very flat and everything, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with some sanding here. So I can see where I need to, maybe where I need to spend some more time. Crank this up here. There we go. position here. Sorry about the hat there. All right. This will be where the clip side is. You want to make sure it's not too bulbous so the clip can actually fit and it won't go way up. And then this end, take it down just a little bit more. Alrighty. We're just going to do a very basic finish on this too. I'm going to do just sanding to like 400 or so, and then we'll do some triple E and then crystal hut. And this turned really nicely. Yeah. I've got some Abernat paper. Right, Abernat triple E and the friction polish. Where are you? There you are. Little Mylans. Whoop. Little Mylans. Heck yeah. All right. So for a wood that is this light of color, you want to try and avoid going to the metal. Let's see. Start with some 150 here. Drop the speed. All right, we'll go to 240. We'll save this for the rest of them as well. Not too much pressure for the Abernat. It'll leave channels. I'd say even worse than regular sandpaper. But we'll go laterally here in a minute. Although I don't really think Go a little laterally here. Again, not too hard. Definitely don't want to push too hard. But just getting some of the circumferential scratches out by going laterally. And then the opposite will also happen. Righty. And then now, lastly, for hundo. Okay. Alrighty, that looks good. Go ahead and get another paper towel. I'm going to use this paper towel a couple times. Boom. Yep. All right, Tripoli. Crank up the speed a bit here. Alrighty. And remember, careful around the metal. So, go off the end with the metal, I would say. And then just stay in the middle. Otherwise. Sweet. Take a look at that. Oh, yeah. And we'll swap here. We'll friction polish. Get it nice and fast. So we're going to crank it to about 25. Yeah, I'd say it's about 25 or so. Gonna get everything a little bit coated. Remember, friction polish is gonna get hot. So that's what you want. Here, nice little trip. Whoa. Hey, little laterally wiping, and that is good. Close the lids on your containers, of course. You don't want to get stuff in there. All right, next. We'll put this to the side and then there we go. Alright, remember the orientation. Don't know which one it's going to go into. It's okay. Alright, I'm going to do the Thoya next, and we're going to go... Doesn't even matter. Got it good. Okay. Enough. Right. I'm gonna go for a different shape profile this time. But it can't be too thick. Still, because we're gonna use the clip. Good. So the clip's gonna go down about like this. Yeah, I need to get that profile. There we go. There we go. That's nice. Okay. Go ahead and hit the ends right here. Alrighty. Also working with wood, you should definitely be careful and mindful that it could be kicking off some dust that your body might not like. So it's important to wear something to protect your lungs and everything like that. Okay. Looking nice. Good for two. All right. We're gonna move this back. All right, that looks nice and shitty. Let's go ahead and fix this. Jibber, jibber, jibber. We've got to get these scratches out, the circumferential scratches out. So 2 points of contact is better than 1. The reason this is also as scratchy as it is, because it is a little bit softer and it's stabilized. So it likes to be more complicated, I guess. What's this? Close to having that there. And nice and easy here. There we go. That's way better. Nice and gentle with the lateral. All right, this is 400. So we'll see how this goes. Good surface. Gently on the last grit here. With a few rotations like that, you're good to go. Okay. Now, again, to the Triple E, what is it? Crystal Mylons? I've got Crystal Hut. This. This will be plenty. Yep. Here we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's why you want to go off the ends. See, go off the ends, and you won't have to worry about that. Alrighty. Looking good, looking good. Sweet. Alright, my lens. Friction polish. Crank the speed up a bit. Put my little finger. Boy, man. Got some eyes. One more here. Okay, that's splendid. Right. And then the last one that we're going to do is the Juma. And I don't intend on finishing that one like I did the wood. That one will actually be finished with a different process. But take a look at her here. Ooh, ooh. So take a look at the rings at the end. Give it a little swipe it off. It's simple, but it's a missed step. Alrighty. This stuff is also kind of heavy, a little heavier. Alright, now I can move this stuff. Perfect. Get out of here. Alrighty. So we're actually going to start a little bit further back with the different tool here. Big one. Big tool. Oh, that's nice. Come back for some fine tuning here. Oh. Okay, we gotta make sure that that's got enough. Alrighty, taking a look. So this is where that's going to sit. So I need to take it down just a little bit further. Come on, there we go. We're going to leave the front end just a little bit larger. Like noticeably larger. Okay, I think that's a good taper right there. Got this down just a little bit more. So you can kind of see the effect that this has got here. Oh, and she's just in time for sanding this. All right, Morty. Okay, come here. Please.
Juma.
Okay. Now, we've got these in here, and we got to figure out which one's going to go to which kit. There's rose, there's chrome, and then there's, or not rose, there's chrome, gold, and gunmetal. And I got 2 of the wooden ones done, and the last one is the Juma that...
So no stratified?
No.
Which one's for your mom? Is this from that girl in the house?
Yeah?
Well, that's one you should probably give to her.
On gold?
Yeah, I think gold.
Cool. Here.
Gold. I have to get water.
Okay. That's fine. Here. Hold on. Just a moment. There we go. There you go.
Thanks.
Okay. I'm going to vacuum right quick. A little tidying up.
So Juma is going to get wet sanded. And it's just like how it sounds. We're going to be sanding it, but the sandpaper is going to be wet. The reason you do that is because you can get a better finish. It takes away the little slurry and stuff like that, or helps keep it down. Also keeps the dust down. Let's see. Yep. So wet sanding is typically used on plastics or something that is, well, even with wood, you don't really want to wet sand wood because it's going to start soaking it, potentially the liquid, and then it'll cause it to change its shape. So plastic is typically what gets wet sanded. Although you could sand, you could wet sand wood if you did like a CA finish maybe, or if you did some other type of plastic coated finish. So
It wouldn't absorb, but you know, to each their own. So, shoot, bottle stopper. Oh yeah, bottle stoppers are right there. Bottle opener. Check, check. Scratcher handles times 3. Boom.
Gifts.
Gifts. Gifts. I think you could even press these together. Good. What?
Could and want to.
Well, that's all right. All right. All righty. Well, good day so far. All righty. So, we got that. Let's move this over here just a tad. Move this out of the way here. Oh, come on. Here we go. Gold for mom? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. All right, this is a pin press. I think this is actually my favorite type of pin press. It's got the it just makes it quick and easy for repeatability. So this, the handle will pull back, and then this, you can change how many you need, and this will come back. That'll also come back, but this one, you have to use this little knob here and loosen it, and then it'll make it go back. Then you just tighten it back down. It's got a nice little piece of plastic that'll help with the cone, and then a nice flat piece right here. So it'll work. I mean, a lathe would work too, I suppose. A lot of things would work. It's just this one I find to be the most convenient. Yeah. So, where's it's the gunmetal, it's the chrome, and here is gold.
Gunmetal, chrome, and gold.
Yeah.
Get the gunmetal on the other one, I think, and the chrome on this one.
Okay. And these are all scratchers. Okay. So here's this one. This is a burl species unknown. Oh, we're going to go ahead and give it a little wipe the ends.
Burl.
And now backyard burl. Yeah, there you go. And then these are all the different components. I don't really need this part right now. I need the metal insert.
Oh. One of the spacers just went flying.
What?
one of the spacers. I got it. I found it.
Jeez. All right. So if you are going to use the clip, make sure that you have it on. Otherwise, you will not be able to do it. Or you'd have to pull it apart.
Here you go.
We'll go put it over there.
Over
Till I'm not ready for it yet.
here.
We'll just put it in the, yeah, that's fine. Okay, this to here. That's it. This will come back. In this particular case, it's spring-loaded and it holds it in place pretty nicely. And then you just go against it, hold it nice, make sure we're going straight. And then position the clip how you want it to be, and then in we go. Okay. Now the spring, it's got to get wound up. So this little guy right here, let's see, there you are. So this here is going to get kind of wound up just a little bit. Then you're going to go in, and then the last little bit, instead of bending it, because you don't want to bend it, you're just gonna, well, what I do at least is I just kind of push this in and then kind of support the little thin metal pieces here and then send it down. Oh, here we go. Little overlap right there. Sweet. So there's that. So there's that, the scratcher. So there's the gift one for my mom.
Do you have a box of the wood?
What?
Do you have a box of the sandpaper, the different grits?
Yeah. Here. Alrighty. So that one is done. You could save those bags if you'd like. Gunmetal on the wood, I think. Okay. All right. Again, got this one. I'm going to put this one together. This is a Thoya burl. If you keep an eye out on Facebook Marketplace, you can find somebody that's selling them. It's pretty inexpensive wood. I'm not going to say cheap, but it is inexpensive. It is a little, let's see, what's the word? It is, I was thinking about that expression that I heard the other day. Somebody said that wine drinks above its price range.
This thing's making weird noises.
You're sanding it on slow, right?
Yeah, it's as slow as it goes. It keeps coming out though.
Well, yeah, it's going to. You have to push into it the whole time. And you can't have it go fast.
It's on slow, babe. It is on as slow as my lathe goes. It keeps coming out.
Well, then we're going to have to use this little thing. Here you go.
What's that?
Here. Put that in the tailstock. Then put this on that. And then put the little rounded spot the other way.
Are you sure? Like this? It goes like
Yeah.
this, doesn't it?
Just put it in the tailstock.
You put the deep part's going to be supporting it here, right?
Yeah.
I had it the right way.
Okay. Gunmetal.
Here we go. Here's some gunmetal. This one will look cool in the... Oh, yeah. Yes. I don't know if anybody wants some scratch-offs. Or scratchers, I guess. But made a few. Ooh. Man, this one looks like it got a little bent. It's all right, though. We'll get it squared away here. Oh, all right. So same thing for the Thoya here. That goes there. This goes here. Okay, going straight. We are good. And boom. And then wipe off the end. Get the little spring. That'll fold up a little bit. You just want to know which side is going on top of which side. It'll expand to be the correct size, but come on. There we go. And then that top part, I'll be kind of careful. This nice consistent pressure. There we go. Getting there. Perfect. Now that's in. This will hold. And there's that one. So these are scratch offs. So, and good luck. I got one more. Okay, here is the last one. At least of the scratchers here. And this is Juma, which looks really cool. It's like got some nice chatoyance in there. I think it's pink.
Hey, dragon. Dragon.
It is a pink dragon. I didn't want her to be right, but she was. Okay, pink dragon. So you can see that it's got the scales, right? It's got the scales. But then it's also got the underbelly of a reptile. So if you like reptiles, maybe this is a cool pattern that is reminiscent of that. Or if you don't, just know that it's just a blank, I guess. All right, need the clip, need the other component. Don't need that, and I don't need that right now. All right, so check that, check this, make sure we put it where we would like for it to be. Make sure that you have the clip where you want it to be. About right there. Okay, now just press it together.
And then same thing with the spring clip here. Roll it a little bit. Try and get it to stay together as far as it can go with your fingers. It's pretty far. Further than the last one, that's for sure. And then you just use this little guy and finish it the rest of the way. Might take some finessing, I guess, here. There we go. Oh, nope. Just kidding. All right, we are like that. Okay. So got to pay attention to which side is over top of the other. Come on. Worked 3 other times, or 2 other times. Doesn't want to this time. There we go. Sometimes it gets caught on the edges. There we go. Perfect. Whew. Okay. Let's take a look at them all together. And here we go. So, Thoya, backyard burrow, and Juma. And again, these are scratchers for like scratch offs. Pretty cool. They don't make very many kits, but these are pretty cool. This one will probably be the one for my mom for her birthday because she was asking for a scratcher. So there we have it. There's that. And then the bottle opener or bottle stopper tops that we've got here are these. So I made one into like a mushroom shape and that'll be a bottle top or a stopper. Like that. So this piece will screw onto the top of that. And then she's working on a bottle opener over there. Yes. And it's a hybrid, so it requires a little extra love. Yep. What? Huh?
Oh, nothing. I should check before I...
Didn't you check?
The wood has scratches in it, so I need to get all that off. And then
Oh, here we go. Now you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. So this piece right here is going to sit right there. This is pretty funny. I like it. A little mushroom. And then the other one is, you know, kind of just a ball. But it adds a nice little contrasting image or view or colors, and it's nice. So that will just thread right under there once we're all sanded and polished. So that's what we're looking at there with that one and the other one. Almost done with the opener. So this is one of our older openers. And this one was made from a bunch of layers. If you're familiar with our stratified, this is actually one of the first iterations of it. And so is this. Some of our first iterations of the stratified. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. This one in particular had a little pocket that kept pushing some of the resin pigment out. So sometimes if you don't mix it well enough, sometimes it'll have a little pigment pocket. And what can
neons.
And so yeah, it'll just keep like oozing until it doesn't have anything else in it. So pretty neat. Okay. Cool. Let's see. What else? What else? That's all I've done today.
The regular work.
Yeah. So now I get to do the other work, which is drilling and prepping. It's a lot of drilling and preparation for turning. But yeah, it wouldn't be very fun to watch. Yes. If you did enjoy that or found it useful, do me a solid and hit that thumbs up. Hey, Chris, no worries, buddy. It's good to see you. You missed all the action, but it's good to see you nonetheless. Hope you're doing well. Alrighty. What am I doing now? What?
Can't really come over here.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. I mean, I could start cutting, but it wouldn't be fun to listen to either. But yes. Alrighty, so cleanup. What I am doing for cleanup right this second is got to put those bushings away, right? Got to put those bushings away. So these are for seam rippers. These particular bushings are for seam rippers. And what did we just make? The scratch offs. Scratch off handle. Is the stream over? Oh no. Not yet. Almost. Getting near it. 'Cause I'm just going to be drilling the rest of the time. That won't be very fun. But I'd say it was a pretty good stream. I had fun. Did lots of little stuff, which is pretty. I find it pretty entertaining to do things that are a little different. This, you need to put these bushings back on. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put everything back together. how it was and where it was. Well, you don't have a big old mess. Okay. This. We didn't do stratified blocks. Oh yeah. If you didn't hear me mention it before, you should keep an eye out for things that you like gifting people. And when they go on sale, just have a little bit of extra money set aside for those types of things. And it's probably a good way to go about it. See, 5/16. Yeah, here are 5/16. What are you doing over there?
Me?
What?
Me?
No,
Stuff?
talking to myself. Talking to myself here. Bottle opener. This. Or that. There's that. Get the stoppers going. There's one stopper. Those will go into the ones when she's all done. Okay. Let's see. There's my jaws. Ticket scratcher. But yeah, what a fun gift. I made some scratchers. Yeah.
On our own.
My mom requested scratch offs. They have like an extra or a special coin,
They want a lucky.
but they want a lucky handle with a scratcher on it. So PSI makes that kit, so I got it, made it. Now to gift it to them. Her. So 5/16 for threading that. You can use the tap as the mandrel. Yeah, I think that's about it when it comes to that stuff. No more scratches. Let's see. I did get a couple other kits though from PSI, but that'll be for another go. Yeah. Ring doorbell test. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I know I am. It's Good Monday here. Let's see. Just trying to tidy up from what I did here. Okay. Boom. For the sake of completing, she's almost done with
You keep chatting.
the bottle opener kit. Here you go. There's a bottle opener kit. Not good. Sorry to hear that. What's going on? Want to talk about it? Come on over here. Oh, there we go. Okay. But yeah, not good. That's a bummer. We want to be good, man.
I like Mondays around here.
Mondays are great. That's when the kids go back to school. Oh no. Sorry to hear that. Were you close to your grandfather? I was close to my grandfather. And it it hit hard.
94.
So sorry to hear that about your grandfather. Yeah, that's a bummer. Sorry to hear that. And let's see. Oh, that's okay. Just waiting on you.
CA and wood, not what I do very often anymore.
I'm not sure what that is. He was in Sting Hill. I don't know what that is. Sorry about that. Don't know what it is. Ah. Gotcha. In the UK. There's my say my depth of UK knowledge is underwhelming at best. Yeah. All right. You just unscrew that. That from the.
Oh, I have to do butt still.
Oh. Just hit it with the buffing wheel. You have to press against it, remember. So Abby is finishing up a handle for a bottle opener that I turned earlier this stream.
We're gonna go get my grandparents.
Yeah. I bet you do, Ring Doorbell. Definitely rough times when something that's so familiar changes. Yeah. It's okay. Here.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. All right, here you go. You want to swap places with me for just a moment?
For a moment, I suppose.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna do a little switch here. I will let Abby finish that part. I'll be right back. I gotta go check on something else right quick.
See if Stella came back.
Um.
Her friends.
Oh, okay.
I told her not to make me have to go chase her down.
That's good.
Yeah, the end's not perfect, but...
Um.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with John while he did some of these presents. Some of which are for his mom, and a couple are for my
there's
grandparents.
that, and then there is this vertical seam too. We'll take you to that camera.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. It's been quite a while since I finished a hybrid anything, really. It's completely different than our all resin
I'll be right back.
stuff. So,
You got the mic, right?
yeah. So I had to dry sand, which I never do, and then CA, which I had to redo on this particular one, and polish, and it was all on a kind of weird jerry-rigged mandrel that John made. So, but all right, figure out. There we go. So here we go. So it's hybrid burl and resin. Big old bottle opener. It's got a really nice weight to it. I think it looks pretty nice. Turned out pretty darn good. This was from a block, so it's got that really pretty chatoyance in it. It's like a little bit green, a little bit yellow. Yeah. We're going to visit my grandparents for spring break in Tucson, Arizona. So yeah, that's part of what we were doing with making some gifts to bring with us since we don't see them very often. So I still have the bottle stoppers to finish. So John made a couple from the same resin block. Or yeah, from the same material that we made a while ago. Again, this was a block, so from squares. So these are pretty cool. This one's a little mushroom and it'll be a bottle stopper. And then this one's a nice round, pretty one. And I think once he comes back, probably be wrapping up. So thank you guys for hanging out with him. I always appreciate it. Mondays are my I'm not usually in the workshop on Mondays. I'm usually inside packing orders for both of our shops, both Etsy and our Shopify. So I already finished that, and then I've got some more sanding work to do because we've got to get things done a little bit early this week. So John's got a lot of stuff to do too, and yeah, I think that's what's up next for him is prep work for the rest of the week. So hopefully he'll be on streaming again in the next couple of days, and then we won't be here next week, so there'll be no streaming then. Oh good, he's back. Stella back?
Yeah. Gave her your number.
Okay, perfect. The mom?
Yeah.
Done. Showed it. Looks good. Not my best, most perfect sanding work, but pretty good. Mostly because the mandrel, I had to kind of work around that, of it being on the end and stuff.
We could have done it on the other side.
Excuse me, sorry.
On this thing. But the problem is that this part is too big for that end.
Oh, so it's hard for me to get
So this fits that, but it would be, this is too big for the
other one. Yeah, gotcha. Well, it works. I got it done.
Yeah.
Turned out.
Heck yeah.
It's a finished product, at least.
Yep.
I like that it's nice and heavy.
Finished gift.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you for being here and stopping by and all that jazz. Made some projects. Now it's time to get to the daily grind of chilling.
Daily grind. Bye, guys.
Sorry, buddy. But I do appreciate you coming by and thinking about you. Hope you, well, yeah, I hope you are able to overcome. But yes, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.